Good afternoon, everybody. Frankie here with an update on severe weather moving into Chicago. A bow echo moving right into the heart of the city here in the next probably 15-20 minutes. And we have other severe thunderstorms across the southern suburbs that are going to move into northwest Indiana. These storms are showing signs of strengthening over the last couple of frames here, and you can see well-defined outflow boundaries, like right here, that outflow boundary right there, indicating very strong outflow winds. So you're going to see some really nice shelf clouds. You can get some really cool pictures if you can do so safely. Don't stand out in the middle of nowhere and take pictures. Make sure you're doing it under your deck or something like that, from a distance to where you're not at risk being struck by lightning, because these storms are going to pack a punch as they move through the area. The entire Chicago metro area, a big whopper of a storm moving right towards all of Chicagoland here. And if we put the wind signatures on the velocity mode, there's just a wall of wind moving right toward Chicago. If I go to we're showing 48 mile per hour wind gusts at the very least. It's continuing to intensify. We just got an update. 64 mile per hour winds headed toward downtown Chicago, almost 65 miles per hour. And that's going to continue to move east, northeast, very rapidly here at 45 miles per hour. So we do have that severe thunderstorm warning in place for all of Cook County pretty much, and as well as northern Will County, but that's about to expire. So let's jump out of here real quick and go back to radar mode, and you can see how this just, there's little clusters in there. These are clusters of storms, clusters of supercells, if you will, and they're producing microbursts, I believe, here. Things are going to get really bad here across the southern suburbs into northwest Indiana. That's where the highest instability is. So don't be surprised if you lose power and you lose some trees. There's a lot of wind in this thing. Again, I'll go back to the wind, and you can see that whole wind line right there. This whole thing, that's the wind line just pushing its way. This part of it's pushing right toward Chicago. This part of it's pushing east towards Gary and towards northern Lincoln Porter counties. This part's pushing southeast towards Kankakee and northern Iroquois County. So if we take and do the math here, you can see those storms. You see the outflow getting ahead of those storms just a little bit, which can enhance the damaging wind threat because you get the outflow winds, which can be up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. And then you get the thunderstorm wind gusts that could be in excess of 60 to 75 miles per hour or even higher. So yes, definitely strong storms moving towards Chicago and northwest Indiana. I'll continue to keep covering this here for the next few minutes until these storms hit. Let me go back to velocity mode. And just a wall of wind coming at Chicago there. I don't see any immediate tornado vortex or anything like that. There's no tornado warning, but still extremely strong winds. At least severe criteria of 60 miles per hour or higher, likely higher. I'm going to move through the downtown Chicago metro area here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So you're going to want to move to substantial shelter and stay away from windows when these storms arrive. And that's not going to be very long. You see that outflow just really showing itself and roaring, with new storms developing out ahead of it. That concerns me because that's where you can get tornadic activity to develop. And if we're going to have any kind of tornadic development, it's going to be in this area. So it's going to include Kankakee, eastern Will, very far southeast parts of Cook County, and then Lake and Porter counties, and northern Newton County there. That's where the strongest threat for any kind of tornado is. So Portage, you're in it. You're in it. These storms are coming. They're going to do what they're going to do, and you can't stop it. The only thing you can do is prepare, keep your car in the garage in case there's hail. I don't see any immediate threats of hail right now that's going to do any damage. But if any of these can get into supercellular mode, like this one near Bourbonnais, let's check the hail size. I'm just curious. Vertically integrated liquid. And we're getting a little bit of hail, maybe about dime size there north of Bourbonnais. And some of these other ones, there's small hail in these storms, but for the most part, there isn't that big a hail, except for east of Dwight. We got some red returns. That's pretty far up the scale, meaning possibly up to quarter size hail there. And that's why they had that severe thunderstorm warning in that area. So let's get back to the radar. See if it updated at all. Not an update yet, but we're seeing this storm race through Chicago here very, very, very shortly here. And it has that little notch. That little notch heading directly for downtown Chicago. So take shelter if you're in Chicago. There is a little bit of a concern here. And if I zoom in, I don't know if that's just feedback or if that's actually a couplet near just west of Cicero there that would move right into the down. Okay, so it was not a couplet. It was a wind signature, which we're still getting winds in excess of 65 miles per hour moving right towards the downtown Chicago metro area. There you go. There you have it. It's just a wall of wind. It's going to be here any second now. And then the storms in northwest Indiana are going to be a little bit later as these storms progress their way east and at times southeast at around 45 miles per hour. So hopefully we don't have too many discrete cells like this one form, because that can create tornado conditions, especially when it gets closer to the lake, because there's a slight lake breeze hugging the shoreline like that. And there's an outflow boundary right there. You can see it on radar. That's how potent it is. And if those clash, you can get that twirling to go on. So we don't want that to happen, but we'll be watching. So this has been the latest multimedia web briefing. I'll be on here immediately when a warning is issued for Lake or Porter County, any county in northwest Indiana here, which I expect to be done probably here shortly. So everybody stay safe and make sure you're in sturdy shelter, because these winds are going to be packing a punch as they move through the area. Thanks for watching, and subscribe and like. I will see you in the next video.